Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Apocalypse Soon, Parking Lot Edition. Parking Lot. And now, give it up, make it loud for the man in the hat. He's Eddie Pepitone.
Hey, everybody. You know, these last two podcasts, it feels like, just our surroundings. It's like me and Kevin are homeless now. Like, that's what it feels like from last week's and this week's.
We're refugees.
Like, we're just going from outdoor location to outdoor location. And there's a little, so anyway, this week we are out here. It is 9:30 at night here in Los Angeles. And it is still 90 degrees approximately at 9:30 at night. It's been about 108 here in the valley the last 6 days. Like it's the type of heat wave, and I get it. You know, we're talking about a heat wave now, folks, and welcome to Apocalypse Soon. It feels like Apocalypse now.
Apocalypse 2 days ago.
No, I mean, and if the heat wave doesn't affect you, right? If you're not part of it, you're like, what? They're almost like, hey, come on, guys, let's be funny or whatever. But
yeah.
When you're inside, I remember Dave Chappelle said, everything is funny until it happens to you.
Yeah.
I feel like the climate breakdown that I talk about all the time, and that everybody talks about, not everybody, but like, you know, people who are not ignoring it, you know, people who are looking at it like it's very real and it's happening, and I feel like it's really happened to us.
Yeah.
This last and it's, the heat is not going to break.
No.
For a few days. Like,
Yeah.
And
we were driving by these guys in tents, you know, in the park, and because we were going to record in the park, the lights were all out, and then we're going past these people that are in tents. I can't even imagine what that's like just getting dehydrated and being hot.
I mean, a lot of people are trying to help out. A lot of people are giving unhoused people water. You know, it really is. It feels like a catastrophe. It feels like this is an emergency situation. It is for people who don't have cold water or who aren't inside in air conditioning. I mean, that's how hot it is. That's
brutal. It's like 111 was the high this week.
It feels like
it's crazy.
And you know what they talk about is the fact that when it's hot at night as well, your body cannot cool down.
Yeah.
And that's a dangerous thing for, like, your body needs to cool down.
Yeah. If you can't afford air conditioning, get a box fan and go to 7-Eleven, get a chunk of ice and put it in front of the fan. That works really, really well. It's basically like a exposed swamp cooler. And it's not bad. It's not bad. We do it to supplement. You know,
you do?
Yeah. Because I'll just put up like a block of ice, or we have ice packs that we'll use, and we'll put that in like a thing, and then put the fan over it, and it's nice to sit in front of it and have my shirt off in front of my kids, and they love that. You know, they're big fans.
Wow, I remember. You know, sometimes my dad would inadvertently be naked, and it always scared me to see one of your parents naked.
Yeah.
It just it makes you feel like it makes you feel like, oh my God, we do descend from apes. We are from apes. You know.
Yeah.
You know, as much of a patina of civilization that we want to put on things. Right. You know, a patina of civilized. You know, let's have strawberries. No, there's Daddy naked. We are all going to die violently at the hand of another ape or that ape.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean? It's very primal to see your parents naked.
And it's like the illusion's gone. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you look up to your parents, like they're so powerful, they'll never die. They know what they're doing. They're strong. And then if you see, especially like, you know, mom naked is a different story for a guy, but like dad naked.
I feel like the lights are dimming.
Yeah, I feel like we're about to be abducted.
We could. By the way, folks, this may be, you know how people make last videos, to show their families.
Yeah, this was the last thing.
This may be our last video before we disappear. I mean, we're in a fucking weird parking lot here in North Hollywood.
Yep.
Sketchy. Everything is sketchy, man.
Yeah, very sketchy.
Naked parents are running around all over the place. Did you ever see? There was a group. There was a group on the internet called NakedParents.com, and it was so disgusting and disheartening. Yeah. That's the two words I want to use. NakedParents.com, so disgusting, so disheartening.
Yeah.
And if you saw your parents as part of this group, you would be like, "Oh my God,
devastated,
Mommy, Daddy."
devastated.
Luckily, it was parents just from a very small section of Denver.
Well, the Denver parents, they
very small section. Of Denver.
They've been very exposed. The Denverans, the Denverites. I don't know.
Yeah, Denverinians, I believe it's called.
Thank you.
But let's segue away. Just to get back to the climate breakdown. So
thank you.
So what's going on is something called a high pressure. It's high pressure. It's a high pressure ridge. In other words, the heat can't move. Usually, the heat waves don't stay this long.
Yeah.
But now there's something called a heat dome. And it has something to do, of course, with the climate warming. Damn it, I wish I knew, but I love bringing things up that I really don't know how to
I've done that.
explain.
I go, did you see this show? I hear it was great. And they're like, what is it? I'm like, I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure what it's about, but it's, but it's good though.
No, but it's a heat dome. You could look up heat dome. And it doesn't move.
Sites,
the heat does not move. And there has been hail. There's been some weird 60-mile-an-hour winds and hail, thunderstorms, dry lightning, they call it.
Really?
Yeah. You don't know any of this.
No, I'm so out of. I literally just I don't even go online barely.
You must learn
marketing.
A lot from this podcast, just editing this podcast.
Oh, absolutely.
Because you have a couple of kids.
Yeah.
So you're involved in life, your family, your children. How old are your kids again?
12 and 14.
So they have their whole lives in front of them, which is maybe 3-4 years,
right.
depending on how long we'll live as a planet. I don't know, 3-4 years maybe.
Who knows?
Shortchanging us. We could get 20, but 20 hard ones.
Yeah, hot ones. Oh.
But so you're involved in kids, and so you don't. But I stay home, right? I stay home, and I feel completely claustrophobic because you can't go out. You can't go out. It's 110 degrees. My dog doesn't want to go out. My dog is this is what my dog does. If my dog had a voice, it would be because I put the harness on her. Yeah. I put her little harness, and I go, "Come on, Charlotte. Come on, Charlotte." And she just she won't move. I'll be, "Come on, Charlotte." And I know she doesn't want to go out, so I go, "All right, my sweet." I go, "All right, my baby. I know you don't want to go out, and I don't want to go out." But if my dog could talk, she'd be like, "Fuck you." All right? I am not going out there. This is bullshit. All right? You put down pads upstairs in that office you never use.
Yeah. Yeah, seriously. No, we tried to walk the dog today, and the same thing happened. Where she went out.
I forgot you have a dog.
She runs out because we got her on the
kids,
leash.
a dog,
and a cat, and a wife.
Yeah,
Yikes.
I have the wife and the cat as well.
But yeah, the dog. She ran out and then got about maybe 4 or 5 feet from the door and started coming back in. And I was like, "Oh, baby, it's just too hot." But I took her downstairs, and we have a little planter.
I don't need to hear this.
I just put her in the planter.
I just put her in the planter. I just put her in the planter. Remember that sentence. I just put her in the planter is going to be used more and more as this climate breaks down.
Yeah.
Because it's not only going to be dogs. You put it in the planter, it's going to be like I put my son in the planter. I just put my grandfather.
We just buried
Yeah.
my grandchildren in the planter outside because there's not a lot of earth left. There's not a lot of places
you don't want
to
to go
bury.
outside.
No. You got. I
Funerals,
want to stay close.
By the way, with heat like this, funerals now have to be held indoors. People get buried now underneath kitchens, underneath the linoleum. Sometimes people will just be thrown under the sink.
Yeah.
A lot of people in this kind of heat, if someone dies in the house, they just throw them under the sink.
Yeah.
And they sprinkle. They sprinkle things like Comet on them or Lysol, and then maybe I just rewatched all of Breaking Bad.
So good.
Have you seen it?
Yeah.
How many times?
I've seen it. I've seen the whole thing once, and then I've watched multiple episodes.
Okay, so you've seen it once, but it is amazing to watch again and again. Like I've seen it now. A total when it aired, I watched it and I've rewatched it twice.
Yeah.
I had COVID a few weeks ago. Not to brag. Oh, you hear that chopper? If you listen, it's a military chopper.
Mm-hmm.
I think. Yeah, right. I think it is.
I really think it is.
No, it would be more thunderous. The military choppers have more of a reverb type thing, and that reverb is basically saying. It's saying things like, we have all your money. We have all your taxpayer money. The military is responsible for half of discretionary spending in the United States, half of it. And it also just is ominous to hear a military vehicle over...
Hell yeah. I hate it when you go down the street and you'll see like a dozen Humvees and like a missile on like the back of a flatbed.
Are they displaying? Are there parades where you live, like military?
No,
are you serious?
I'm 100% serious. I've been on the highway and seen convoy. You know what I mean? Like going, and I'm just like, Jesus, we're in the central. We're in California. Like, where are you going?
California has military all over the
everywhere.
Fucking place.
Yeah,
like Edwards Air Force Base is pretty close. To where we are, and I remember
on the way to San Diego too. They have that.
San Diego is a lot of military,
huge military.
I think it's Fort Bragg over there.
Yeah. Not to brag.
Not to brag. That's where I should go if I join the military at the ripe age of 63. And by the way, don't think I cannot become a Navy SEAL.
100%.
Right.
100%.
And I'm talking about not the SEALs that storm. Like who do all this crazy training, but just a SEAL who can balance a ball on his nose. I'm talking about that kind of SEAL.
I'm more of a Navy walrus kind of guy.
Well, maybe I'm a Navy walrus too. But if I'm going to be a SEAL, it's going to be not the SEAL that does all this crazy training and in cold water. There was a New York Times article that came out. I don't know. You don't see this because you don't really.
I have my head,
you don't know what's going on, which is good. I mean, I know
head
a lot
buried
of people,
in the sand.
No, that's judgmental to say that. You're just trying to have a good time.
Yes.
And you're the reason why our whole you and people like you are the reason why this country's going down this shitter.
That's right. That's absolutely right.
But I read an article in the New York Times. I'm not even going to let you rejoin that. But I read an article in the New York Times about the training of these fucking Navy SEALs, and people die. People die during this training.
Absolutely.
And it's so macho and so hyper-masculine, and they push people to, they're coughing up blood.
Yeah.
And they're like yelling at them.
Yeah.
Like, are you a pussy? You're coughing up blood. Like, it's so fucking.
You gonna fucking quit? And they're passed out.
It's crazy. I can't even describe it. But if you get a chance, read the article. It was in the New York Times. I'm not a fan of the New York Times, but there is some decent reporting. And
didn't they rate your special?
That's right. I am a fan. of the fact that they said my special was the funniest in 2020.
Yes.
And this article about training Navy SEALs just exposed how it's criminal and basically it is criminal. It's sadistic. And it's a hiding place for sadists. That was to me I don't know if that was a line in the article or in the comment section about how these programs where they train quote unquote elite forces are basically hiding places for sadists.
Yeah. Well, you get paid well to scream at people and like push people to near death. Like that's, but
it is sadistic though.
Yeah, they need it though. You got to do it. You got to put these people through because they got to break them down mentally. You know what I mean?
See, folks. Kevin has drank the Kool-Aid. You see, he's raising 2 children.
That's right.
And he has bought the fiction that we're constantly under threat by other countries. I remember the one time. We have to be careful. I remember one time when I visited Kevin at his place. Mm-hmm. I was waiting for him outside, and all I heard coming from his house was Kevin yelling, "God damn it, we are under attack constantly. The war is ongoing." And then he said he kissed everybody goodbye. And
that's how I do it. I go, we're under attack. I love you guys. I'll be right back.
I love you guys. This war is not over.
Yeah, the other thing I'll shout a lot of times is you'll never make it in the SEALs. That's what I say to I say it to my kids a lot.
But then again, I really do want to be a SEAL. That would be hilarious. Like, let's say there's 20 recruits. There's 20 guys. By the way, the competition is unbelievable. They start out, this is part of the article again, they start out training 230 guys. 189 drop out after the first 4 days.
Yes.
That's how brutal. And these are guys who are in the best fucking shape.
Yeah.
I mean, these are guys.
And young.
Yes, they're young. They're doing push-ups in their sleep.
Yeah.
They're the kind of guys who can make love all night. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel bad for the people, that I've made love to in my life. You know what I mean? It's just not a pretty sight.
You wrote that open letter a long time ago to the people.
I apologized in the New York Times. It was to all the girls I used to know.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, my lovemaking is suspect.
Mm-hmm.
That would be like if there was an APB out on my lovemaking.
Yeah.
It would be like all points bulletin out for man with big belly who has no stamina in the sack, Bob. In the sack. I don't know why I added Bob.
I always think about because people often ask me about being with my wife forever and whatnot, and I'm always just
how long you've been with your wife again?
Since
just give me a year count.
It's 20 years coming up on 20 years. Yeah,
Gotcha.
But yeah, I think about finding another lady. I'll go hit. What if I'm successful? I'm successful. She goes, oh my God, for some reason. She's just like, yes, I'm enamored with you. Let's do it. And then
some random woman?
supermodel, let's say, anybody.
Right. Okay.
And then it's 45 seconds of bliss. And then I'm gonna get up and be like,
you never know.
Yeah, baby,
because your success. Because one of the secrets to great lovemaking is confidence.
I'm so glad we're finally here.
Is confidence. You have to be confident.
Yeah.
And if you're very successful, you may have a confidence that would translate into an attentive, crisp lovemaking style.
The stamina of confidence.
The stamina of confidence is one way to put it.
Yeah.
You can be like commanding in bed.
Yeah.
Yet attentive. Commanding yet attentive.
I like to put a bandana on when I'm about to
now
get
you're
after
talking
it.
about role playing.
Well, it's the only way I can get confident.
I'll
tie it in the front like Tupac.
Okay. I don't need to know, but my favorite role play is that I am a salesman in a carpet store. This is my role playing, and I'm on break, and a beautiful woman comes in, whoever I'm having sex with. She comes in, and I'm in the carpet store.
Wholesale?
Yeah, there's good deals. I don't particularly know what wholesale means, but just very good deals that day. And this woman is looking for shag carpet.
Oh.
And I say, "Do you want to shag?" And then we, and I'm in a frumpy suit. I don't look good in this suit.
Like a 70s style?
Yeah,
like puffy sleeves?
It's brown. It's a brownish suit.
I like a brown suit. And with a nice hat,
No hat.
Just banging a lady on some shag carpet.
But banging's a strong word. It's just like, we're making like love, in a carpet store.
Yeah.
And
business hours still open?
Business hours, but we locked the door. I locked the door.
Wow.
And it's just like a big cup of a large Diet Coke to my right, and
the fuel center.
The AC is shoddy in this place. So it's that kind of thing. And you hear the rattling of my lungs. I don't know. We should get off this.
I like this, You're a big sweater when you're getting there. My wife says she loves it when the sweat showers down on her. She says that's the best. It's just when it's real hot. And I like to pull the comforter over both of us,
Yeah.
Oh.
The comforter.
It's really hot boxer in there,
Yeah, right. Oh, God. And folks, this kind of talk, the reason why we're veering into this kind of depravity, I think, is the heat.
Yes.
I think it's the heat wave.
It's the heat.
They have done studies. People who are exposed to intense heat usually go into yarns about bad sex. No, I mean, it's true. People who are exposed to intense heat go into weave yarns about bad, about mediocre sex.
Yeah, we get up to 120. I'm going to bring up anal, Eddie. I'm gonna die. Your face. You're just okay.
Just when you said the phrase, "I'm going to bring up anal," it just left me speechless because so many different bells went off in my head. Yeah. Some terrible, some decent.
Yeah. It's a powerful word.
It's a powerful word and powerful imagery. And all right, so what else is going on?
Well,
that's a great stand-up thing. Hey, what else is going on?
My grandmother sent me a check in the mail, which she hasn't done in a while, and it was attached with a note that says, "I want to enjoy the pleasure of giving while I'm still alive." And she's 100. So
is she 100?
She's 100 years old, yeah. And so then I called her, and she was just like, "Yeah, I'm gonna be gone soon, so just trying to."
She's still lucid.
Yeah, oh, very lucid. Yeah, she's
lucid
amazing.
In the sky with diamonds. Okay, good.
Yeah, she's real lucid. She's
lucid in the sky with money. How much was it for? Can we? Do we want to put a number value on it?
Was
it nice?
It was nice.
Okay,
it was nice. It wasn't like crazy, but it was like I'm gonna be able to buy a light for the camera, and maybe even a monitor. A bigger monitor so we can make sure that I can actually see if it's in focus.
You know, my dad's going to be 90, but I don't get checks like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Hey, Ed, I'm going to be gone. So instead, I get like nasty letters from him saying, "I'm still here and I will fucking outlive you." And no money attached.
Here's one sock. I'm still here. I'm going to outlive you. Life sucks.
I always tell him to show me a picture of himself with today's newspaper, so I know he's here.
Yeah, my mother used to send me some of the weirdest gifts. She would give me something that I wouldn't want. Like she would give me like
your grandmother?
My mother. My mother used to give me gifts like that, and she would give me like a pair of moccasins that were too small, and then she would give me. Then we'd have to have this long conversation about how she was struggling, but she wanted to get me something, and then I'd be like, just write me a letter. Like, just write me a letter or something.
By the way, here comes a car with no lights on.
This is solid. This is solid.
Okay, he's pulling up here. No lights.
And these lights just brightened up.
These lights go back and forth.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, 25 minutes in, and it's pretty good. There's another car now coming.
This is how we do it.
Yeah. Folks, we could be abducted. We could be, shot. Or we could be loved. I mean, there may be a lot. Wouldn't that be a great thing, Kev? And then we'll get back to your mother's financial problem. As you were growing up, it would be amazing if people just randomly jumped out of cars and took you to dinner.
Oh, some drive-by affection.
Yeah, drive-by affection. Like abducted in quotes, but took you to dinner, told you that you're good.
Yeah.
That you're a good person and that you're doing enough in your life.
Yeah.
How we have so many doubts about our productivity, especially me and you.
Yes.
I mean, look at us. I mean, there's a reason we're out in the fucking...
The night before this has to be out. Yeah.
The night before.
Hours.
And let me tell you something, though, folks. It's Labor Day weekend, and I said to Kevin, let's just rerun the Marin... episode where we interviewed Mark Maron, that got a lot of views, or Tim Dillon, that got a lot of views. And we were both like, you know what? Let's give it a shot, even though it's 90 degrees.
When you said whatever you want to do, I felt, and I know you weren't doing this intentionally, but I felt like you were laying the gauntlet down. You know what I mean? You're like, I'm a little older than you. Yes, it's hot as shit.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'm willing to do it if that's what you want to do. And I was like, I don't want to do it. I'll just run the old episode. And then I was like, but I gotta be strong. I got to be strong and put out this new episode. Man, I just got scared. Your eyes looked over there. I was like, ugh.
Well, I just had a flash. Just to give you an insight into the comedian's paranoid mind, I just had a flash that someone behind us with a machete.
This whole time?
No, and just like slashed at my neck. That's what I really saw in my head.
Man, that's brutal.
Well, it's brutal, yet it's honest.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I've been paranoid in this heat.
Yeah.
I've been paranoid in this heat. It's claustrophobic, and they actually connect heat to mental illness.
Really?
Which is why I think my previous therapist, not the one I have now, my previous therapist always kept the room at 95 degrees. And I don't know if he was trying to make me into... he was trying to bring out my mental illness.
Yeah, trying to get those repeat customers. You know what I mean? Really pump it up.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like it's working, but it's so damn hot in here. That would really fuck up any therapy session to have it 95 degrees in there. Like, tell me about your mother. You're just like,
we're joking. We're joking about this heat, but our planet, our little blue-green planet, which is now mostly brown, with dying oceans, acidified oceans, warming oceans, environmental feedback loops. I think I've told you in previous episodes to look up environmental feedback loops. The ocean warms, the atmosphere warms, and they feed off each other. They both get warmer and warmer.
Yep.
It's a feedback loop, and you can't break that feedback loop. Yeah, we have our planet is becoming uninhabitable.
Yeah,
seriously, and it is quite sad. And if you're in nice temperatures now, you're probably kind of laughing and saying, "Oh, these doomsdayers, preppers,
Californians out there. It's so hot."
Well, I mean, it is. We're in the valley, but
it is very hot. Fresno was insane.
Fresno deserves it, though. If people don't know what Fresno, the middle of this state, is truly where the scum are.
And it's an armpit.
No offense.
And everything funnels into the pit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The heat, the debauchery, the crime.
Bakersfield.
Baby, let me tell you.
I've driven through it, of course.
Oh, Jesus.
And one time I had to fax something to a lawyer.
In Bakersfield?
Is somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Like I was in a time gun, and I was driving to San Francisco for a gig, and I realized I had to get this thing into a lawyer. So there I am, on the 5, taking a veer off, passing all the cows that are in Auschwitz.
Oh, dude.
The Holocaust for cows on the 5.
So perfect, Auschwitz.
Yeah, that isn't my term. That's somebody else.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it reeks, and it's very sad because they're all gonna die. But anyway,
now we are the cows.
Oh, seriously, yeah, I get milked, periodically. They'll hook up something.
Look, we don't want to get back into the sex stuff. I think we have had enough.
Okay, fair enough.
This sexy talk, as Borat would say.
Sexy talk.
Sexy talk. What are we up to? Nice. 31 minutes.
Good.
Let's do. You want to intro? You want to intro something?
Yeah, we can do a little. Let's do a little guided meditation.
Yeah,
and see where it goes from there.
Yeah,
let's do it. All right. Are you folks ready for this? I hope you are. It's a real delight. All right, now take a deep breath, relax, let it all loose on Guided Meditation with Eddie Pepitone.
Hi, everybody. As you can see, we are in a dangerous parking lot. We're hearing noises behind us. I want you to hear noises behind you. If you can, take yourself and your light-fitting clothing with your first in-breath to a dangerous place where you live. If you have a lot of money, you probably just have to drive a few miles to get to a dangerous place. So we'll wait. But with your first in-breath, I want you to imagine that you'll never be safe again. You'll never be safe again because the planet has warmed to a tipping point. Yes, the glaciers that they thought were going to melt in 30 years are ahead of schedule by 30 years. Just breathe that in, that the natural world around you is coming to an end, which then means you will end. You will end. Breathe that in. Oh, deep, deep breath. Nowhere is safe. Physical environment collapsing. We're all part of this same system known as Gaia. Gaia. But you know what also is part of Gaia? Knives and death. Do you hear the music coming from that car? That's a death rattle. That's a death rattle. Now,
so melodic.
Now with your out breath, and I want you to hear this loud music. I want you to hear this loud music. With your out breath, I want you to breathe out little bits of blood. Just little bits of your own blood just coming out, and each bit of blood is one less hour, one less day, one less week. Let's just call it one less year you will have on this planet. You just see the blood kind of trickling down your shirt, but on the bright side, there is French toast waiting for you. So with that out breath, blood is coming out of your mouth and nostrils, sort of like a Navy SEAL in their training. And they're pussies if they can't get by blood in their lungs. But there's French toast for you, unlike a Navy SEAL. Now, after that out breath, I want, with your in-breath, I want you to breathe in the fact that even though life has become, unbearable, bills that are due still get collected because the rich want you dead. Just know that no matter what the temperature, no matter what the circumstance, Joe Biden canceling a little bit of debt. I believe it was $10,000 per person, whatever it was. It didn't even make a dent. I want you to breathe it in that the oligarchs, the ruling class, they have won and they want you dead. Corporate totalitarianism is in effect, and you're going to die probably on the streets in an environment like this if you have the video.
Beautiful
to
parking.
this. Okay? Breathe that in, and now with your out breath, I want you to feel like you're starting up a car, that you're just kind of like your lungs feel like a car starting up, and you're driving, you're backing out of a horrible parking lot, and you obviously just came from this diner that's behind us. You work in the kitchen, and you didn't look good when you got in your car. That's for damn sure. And you saw a couple of guys doing a podcast, and you said, but but for the grace of God go I. Just breathe that all in. Whatever that means to you, that jumble of thoughts, that jumble of words. And now with your out breath, I just want to see your own murder at the hand of a loved one. Just your own murder at the hand of a loved one as you breathe it out. Then with the in-breath, just imagine your dad and someone is calling the cops, and they arrive at the scene, and they're joking over your dead body like they do in detective novels, and they do in detective shows. They're joking over your dead body. They're having a donut, whatever cops do, whatever detectives do. They're looking. Your dead body's on the kitchen floor, and they're looking at their phones to see sports scores, to see if a certain person on Instagram liked their post of, something arty they put up.
Not enough likes.
Not enough likes. Just breathe that out. That concludes our meditation.
Thanks for joining us for another guided meditation with Eddie Pepitone.
Okay, well, that was good, Kev. That felt good.
Very good.
Like, I hope people, I hope folks, you're taking these. By the way, I feel a little breeze right now.
Feels very nice. Well, the temperature's supposed to keep dropping like 5 to 10 degrees every hour. So we're going to...
Right now?
Yeah.
We should have came out even later.
Well, that part of me wanted to. Part of me was like, how about 2 a.m.? Let's get together. We're going to get murdered in the park one of these days, because as often as we record out there, they're going to find us dead in the park.
Well, as long as the sound is good.
Oh, yeah.
This is interesting to do it out here. It does inspire different types of things. I think me and you are getting closer. I think when we're in the studio, there's more of a professional feel.
I hate. I'll have people sometimes that'll complain about, like my buddies. I go to my buddies. He goes, "Oh, sorry, my apartment's filthy." Like, there is a freedom to being in a space that's the opposite of professional and clean. You know what I mean? Like, there's kind of
no doubt.
For me at least, I feel like I can't screw anything up.
Right.
It's unique.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
If I see a hole in the bathroom on the wall of the shower at my friend's house, I'll be like, this feels right. I can't mess this up.
Hey, look, let me tell you something. When I see a hole in a wall, I'm at home.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I search out when I go on a Yelp review for a restaurant. If they say this is a hole in a wall, I'm there.
100%.
100%. The price is going to be decent.
Right.
The food is going to be gritty yet basic.
By the way, I got some Chinese food yesterday for a $7 plate of special Chinese chow mein, which is chow mein with chicken, beef, shrimp, and tofu in it. Everything. And it was so much food. It fed me and my wife and my son, and we had leftovers for $7.
Wow. Was it good?
It was delicious. No, it tastes like shit, but it was filling.
Good.
No, it was amazing.
Good. Now that's that $7 dish. If it sounds like to me that 5 of those could feed Peru.
Yes.
5 of those could feed a third world country, which basically is the United States at this point. At least half our country.
Yeah.
At least half our country is third world. By the way, it's so great to see cars the size of airplane hangars drive by. These SUVs are so big, and their headlights are so bright.
Yes, and they're like 3 feet higher than everybody else's, so it shines right in your eyes when they're on the highway.
Yeah.
And he's just driving in circles.
Speaking of driving, should we do a drive-in in the rain?
I think we might as well.
Let's do it.
You're driving in the rain around in a $90,000 SUV at 3 miles to the gallon.
Well, you know our driving in the rain.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go, baby. Let's do it.
And now, presenting another Driving in the Rain with Eddie Pepitone.
It was a Tuesday, or as far as I could see, it was Tuesday leaning into Wednesday. I had gotten a late start on my Uber /Lyft /Instacart /Bookmobile /Therapy on Wheels /High Blood Pressure Mobile /DoorDash /Riss. I just started driving. The rain was monsoonal. The monsoon rain that was hitting LA. I mean, it was more like driving in rain and hail. The hail was the size of commemorative baseballs. Not even baseballs, commemorative baseballs. That's how big the hail was. And I was driving through it. My windshield was getting beaten up, just getting murdered like some palooka who had decided to join UFC because he needed surgery. He needed surgery for one of his children. And if he could just make it through one round with a killer UFC person, then he would have enough money for surgery. I laughed because the rain just started smashing into the car so goddamn hard. It felt like the kind of beatdown that cops throw on somebody who rubs them the wrong way. It felt like the kind of beatdown that cops throw on people of little means, people who are on the periphery of society, people who don't have any possessions, that kind of beatdown. You know, the powerless police officers who were powerless in their own lives, beating the powerless on the streets. That's how hard this rain was coming down, like that kind of beatdown. I saw someone doing graffiti in the rain. I rolled down my window. It was an artsy-looking female. I yelled to her, "Do you want to make a go of it with me and raise a family?" She was taken aback, and I was taken aback by my forwardness. I just meant to yell, "What are you tagging? Are you Banksy, madam?" Everybody thinks Banksy's a man. I think Banksy's a hot woman who likes to go to raves, not rage. I go to rages. Rages is where you have an anger management issue and the music is terrible. Whereas raves, you're on ecstasy. Anyway, the rain kept coming down. The woman who was tagging this wall over a diner. I said, "What diner is that?" She said, "North Hollywood Diner." I said, I used to do a podcast there. She said, "Leave me alone." I said, "What are you making?" She said, "I'm trying to do the Virgin Mary as a fish." And I just floored it. I tried to hit her with the car, but the rain made my car swerve, and I missed her, and I just kept going. I kept going. I drove past the courthouse. Someone was on the courthouse steps. I rolled the window down. It was another attractive woman. I said, "Madam, were you or were you not the scene of the crime Friday at 10 a.m. She laughed, I laughed. I had just thrown out a funny thing to say when you're sitting out on courthouse steps, and the rain pummeled her. The rain pummeled her. I said, would you like me to come out there with a poncho and a slice? A slice of what? She said. I said, the soda slice. You said they stopped making it, didn't they? I said, I'm not sure. I have a couple from a few years ago from a concert that went awry. The Fry concert. Do you remember the Fry concert? It was a document. Anyway, she pulled out a gun on me as I came toward her with a can of orange slice, a pizza slice. I also had just a slice of life story to tell her. But she pulled the gun on me and said, strip off your pants. I thought maybe I'm going to get lucky with some fellatio here in this pouring rain. I've never had fellatio done to me at gunpoint. I have been forced to give fellatio at gunpoint, but I've never had fellatio done to me. The rain came down like a thousand screaming cats. The rain came down like 2,500 mentally ill Van Gogh artist types. That's how bad the rain came down. The rain came down like track lighting that wasn't installed properly and just crashed down on people trying to make love. She said, take your pants off. I said, are you going to give me fellatio? She said, not on your life, Buster. I just want to see if you look as well hung as my dad. I said, did you just see your parents naked? She said, yes. I said, same thing happened to me. We laughed and shared a cigarette as I sat there bottomless. She enjoyed the slice. She put away the gun. She started slowly massaging Dr. Johnson, which is what I call my penis.
It's getting hot in here.
The rain was coming down like 1,000 children being released from an underground tunnel by a madman. The rain was coming down like a dentist's laugh after a great joke on a fishing trip with other dentists. The rain was slamming into my Johnson as she rubbed it to and fro. And after Mr. Jolly had spit his way to conclusion, I got back into my car and she said, hey, did you see the graffiti artist up the street? I said, yeah. She said, that's my doppelganger. We're both holograms. I said, what? And she tossed a little LSD at me. It hit my tongue and I started careening into many, many dimensions. The rain now had turned into God, and the rain was just fingering me all over, fingering every part of my skin. God was coming on to me in a big way. And just then I heard the sirens, and the rain came down hard. I was on an LSD trip, sirens, motorcycles, and the rain wouldn't relent.
Thanks for joining us for another psychological BJ in the Rain on Driving in the Rain with Eddie Pepitone. That was a journey.
These things are, they are inner journeys.
Yeah. I love it. I'm responding, but I'm also like I'm visualizing the things that you're saying as it's happening, and I always try to explain it like to my kids, like when you really visualize stuff, like really think about it, like some of those scenes are.
Yeah.
I mean, that scene that you just painted was insane.
Yeah.
It was fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, it was pretty intense for me as the artist.
Yeah.
As the artist.
Are you okay?
Am I okay? No. I mean, actually though, it actually feels pretty good now with the breeze coming in. It almost feels like, maybe we will live a couple of more years.
Maybe we will live a few more years. Let's do another few hours of podcasting out here in the parking lot.
I don't know. We've done pretty good, I think.
We're done.
I think we've hit our
time mark. I think it's time to wrap up.
Yeah. I want everybody to know that this is Apocalypse Soon. Pretty soon we may have to rename it Apocalypse Now. Talk to me next week. Talk to us next week. Hopefully we'll get a studio time.
Yeah, we should.
I'm
should
back
get
in
some.
town on, let's see, I leave Friday. I'm back Saturday, so
okay,
maybe Monday. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll figure something out. But folks, make sure you like and subscribe. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell notification. It just helps us a ton. Hit a like, leave a comment, share, rate and review, subscribe. Go out in the street, buy a plane and make a banner about Apocalypse Soon podcast with Eddie Pepitone. And
And then also go to eddiepepitone.com. I'm going to be touring again. I had to cancel 6 goddamn shows, which me and JT are rebooking. But I do feel better, even though it's hard to feel better in this heat. I'll tell you that. But I'm getting my strength back from the COVID shit.
Yeah. You're taking a real 1-2 punch with the COVID and the heat and the touring in general. I mean, just touring from a month alone in good conditions is brutal.
Yeah, but I'm made of tough stuff. I was raised in a small garbage can outside an airport where planes used to just put, their refuse, the oil from their engines would just fall on me, and I would be yelling from the garbage can, "Mama!"
You used to live next to Oscar the Grouch, I remember.
That's Oscar was very self-centered, actually.
Oh, yeah. Not a very giving man.
No. He had a lot of money, too, from the Sesame Street stuff.
Reoccurring role for 60 years. Yeah, still going.
But, folks, I want you to know that this was a Herculean thing for me and Kevin to do, especially since I just got some new red and green grapes.
Oh,
and they are in the fridge right now, cooling down.
I put some grapes in my freezer after I saw you last week.
Oh,
and
good. Aren't they delicious?
They're very good. They're it sometimes it'll get a spot on my teeth where I'll be it's too cold.
You gotta watch it.
It's like little ice cream balls almost.
Little ice cream balls. Do you hear that?
Which is my nickname.
Little. That was your name, and we won't get into that. We've had I think there's been enough sexuality on this podcast, but
well, that's what people keep telling me. They wish there was more sexuality.
Well, they got it.
They see us and they go, "Those guys need to talk about sex more."
They got it. All right, everybody.
All right.
Thanks, Kev.
Absolutely.
We'll see you next time on Apocalypse Soon. Please become a Patreon member. Patreon.com/Eddie Pepitone. We had some good Patreon stuff this month, and we're looking forward to building those numbers so we never have to be in the situation you folks are in.
Yeah. Thank you so much. All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.